So if you're anything like me, you get sick of hearing the same old sweep shapes. And don't get me wrong, those are cool, but if you want to mix things up and really take your sweeping to the next level and make it even more melodic, something that you can do is you can take this concept of sweeping and pair it with another skill. So the example that I'm going to use in this video is sweeping through pentatonics. And I use air quotes because you're doing some hammer-ons and even picking some notes note for note, but adding in a brief sweep into the sequence. And this gives a really flowing, like awesome Eric Johnson style sound of sweeping. So in this first shape, what I'm doing here is I'm basically in pattern 2 of the pentatonic boxes. And basically, I got this from Eric Johnson. Basically what I'm doing is I'm doing a hammer-on, then I'm doing up-down pick strokes, then I'm actually skipping a note in the sequence. So instead of going, I'm skipping a note because from there, I'm going to do another pick plant, and it's going to give me this sweeping effect like this. And then right after that 3-string sweep, I continue with my alternate picking. Up, down, up. And it's sort of this really quick sweep inside the sequence. It sounds cool because I'm skipping an interval and I'm not just going up the scale in a normal boring way. And it also sounds cool because I have this really quick sweep effect. So it's like... And this is where I find sweeping most fascinating because you could technically call this economy picking, but it really feels like a sweep. And it's really accessible because everyone knows these pentatonic shapes. And it sounds really unique because you're picking a lot of notes and then adding a sweep into it as well. And it sounds super fluid. Now I will add emphasis on this. The way that you pick this is really important. You don't want to muddle up your pick stroke. So I'm specifically doing this downstroke, hammer on, up, down, pick plant, up, down. It just flows really well. I can keep my pick at a downward pick slant the whole time. You can sweep right through those notes and continue on. Now the next sweep that I was doing is this one. And this is pretty cool because this is essentially just the next pattern up. So instead of this, I just shifted up a position and I'm in the 3rd pattern. The idea here is I'm sweeping through fourth intervals, which is a really unique sound and it really can add to your like repertoire because most people are sweeping through triads, like whether that's just a root, a major 3rd and a perfect 5th, or a root, a minor 3rd and a perfect 5th. You're hearing a lot of that. Some people add extensions like minor and major 7ths and 9s and stuff. This is really cool because you don't hear it a lot. We're just using the pentatonic shape and we're doing a hammer-on starting here. And then from there, we're sweeping through 4th intervals, and we're doing a finger roll here. So it's like this. So these are the notes and you can pick them out from the pattern. And the idea here is we're doing a hammer-on and immediately pick planting to a 4th interval and then a 4th interval. And then we continue on in that same pentatonic shape. Except for there's one difference. What I'm doing, and I'm adding this because it sounds cool, is instead of going to this note, that would be your normal pentatonic note because that's your root. We're going to drop it a half step and do it a major 7th, which adds a really cool sound. So, and then you continue up the pentatonic scale. So what my right hand is doing here, it's doing a hammer-on and then pick plant, pick plant, pick plant, pick plant, and then an upstroke and then a downstroke. So hammer-on, pick plant, pick plant, pick plant, another pick plant, upstroke. So you're sweeping through like 4 notes really. And then you start adding the alternate picking. So downstroke, hammer-on, pick plant, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. So as you can see, there's this hybrid of like doing a downstroke, some pick plants, and then up, down, up. And that's sort of how you get this cool sound. Then the next shape is... I'm honestly just using the same pattern in my head is what I'm seeing. I'm using pattern 3, but I'm starting on the D string this time. And I'm really just doing this same sort of thing where I'm doing a hammer-on and then a finger roll and then continuing the pentatonic scale. So I'm hammering on, from 14 to 16. So as you can see, I'm taking these same notes and just sort of finger rolling across these fourth intervals here. Finger roll, and then I continue on in the pentatonic sequence. So. So you can take this idea of doing like a hammer-on and then sweeping through, you know, some notes in the pentatonic shape. You can take any pentatonic shape. Using this hybrid of doing some sweeps and then continuing with alternate picking can really give you a cool Eric Johnson style sweeping sound.